Alright, so now we're on section 3. It says use long division to change the following functions into transformation form. Then fill in the missing information. Now, this isn't really standard form, but I like to call it stupid form. Every time I call it stupid form with my kids, they laugh, but I think it's because you can't really tell what the transformation is. Like, you could look at this and kind of guess, but it's not in its pretty nice rational form where you can see its transformation. So anytime you see that, you have to do long division. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. And it tells you specifically you have to use long division. So some of you might cheat and use synthetic, but we're going to use long. So it's top divided by the bottom. So the top guy, negative 3x minus 8, goes on the inside, and the one on the bottom goes on the outside of the radical. Alright, so I'm going to ask myself, x times what gives me negative 3x? How do I go here? And you can also divide. But x times negative 3 gives me negative 3x. Now I'm going to multiply. So negative 3 times x gives me negative 3x. Negative 3 times 1 gives me negative 3. Now I'm going to draw the line, change the sign. So these guys cancel. So you get negative 8 minus 3. You get negative 5. Now can x go into negative 5? No, this is your remainder. So I always tell my kids you're going to do answer, so answer plus your remainder over what you divided it by. Answer plus your remainder what you divided by. So your answer is negative 3. It's plus your remainder, which is negative 5, over x plus 1. But I like to flip-em-a-flop it, so I do negative 5 over x plus 1 minus 3. Same thing, right? It's kind of like adding 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2. Same thing. So now I can see what my transformation is. So for this part right here, where it says equation, I'm going to write what I got. So for my equation, EQ, I get y equals negative 5 over x plus 1 minus 3. Now it says list the transformations. So this guy, my transformation is going to be flip over x-axis. Okay, Mom. Okay, so flip over the x-axis, so that's a vertical flip. And then I also have this 5, so that's a vertical stretch or expansion by 5. This is horizontal land, so it's always the opposite. So it's going to go left 1, and this one is down 3 because that's vertical. So those are my transformations. Let me see what else. So domain and range, right? So I'm going to do a little quick sketch so I can see it better. I'm going to go left 1, down 3. So if I go left 1 like this, down 3 like this, those are my asymptotes. So remember, flip over the x-axis. So it's usually first and third, 1 over x, but now it's going to flip over the x-axis, so it's going to be second and fourth. So my domain is going to be negative infinity to negative 1, union, negative 1 to infinity. If you want to do set builder notation, it is all real numbers except x cannot be negative 1. My range is going to be from bottom to top, negative infinity to negative 3, union negative 3 to infinity. If you want set builder notation, all real numbers except y cannot be negative 3. There's your domain and range. Alright, what else do they want us to do? Vertical and horizontal asymptote. So this right here is your horizontal asymptote, and it crosses the y-axis, right, at -3. And this right here is your vertical asymptote, and it crosses our x-axis at -1. There it is. That is how you do section 3.